She has a history of overcoming a lot of obstacles. She, like many of the students in this program, and like myself, was a first-generation college student. She overcame a lot of things in her life, and she is now an international, worldwide author. She has several books that she's written. She speaks all over the world. She is a worldwide inspirational speaker. She does corporate trainings, seminars, workshops, and faith-based messages. Give it up for her. Give her a welcome.
Hello there. Who don't you look good? All right, you're the class of 2014, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, I was the class of I'm not going to tell you right now. All right. But I am so excited to be here with you. I can't stand it. I really am. And I want to say something to you. Being here with you today is wonderful, but every time I come to Denton, it rains. Is that something I need to be concerned about? But today is cool. I don't mind it raining. Well, my name is Thelma Wells. I was here many, many years ago. In fact, probably before your mama was born, I was here. But I remember those wonderful days. It was not called the University of North Texas at that time. It was called North Texas State University. As a matter of fact, when I first came here, it was called North Texas State Teachers College. Yeah, I know, that was centuries ago, baby. But when I came, I did it some good. And it changed to a university. All right. And now that I'm back, and you're here, it's even better. It's even better. Now let me ask you something. How many of you know everybody in the room? Okay. I'm glad you don't. Because I'm going to give you your very first set of instructions in college. All right. Now you have to listen to me, and you have to follow the instructions exactly as I give them. I'm going to say go twice. On the first go, I want you to turn around and see somebody that you would like to meet, that you just got here, but you're like, But if you see about your girlfriend or boyfriend, don't say But I want you to see somebody that you would like to meet. And I want you to go to that person, meet, but don't open your mouths. Don't say a word. Complete silence. I want your eyes to meet. Okay? All right. All right. Now, I'm going to say go the second time. And the second time I say go, I want the first person in the pair to tell the person your name, where you're from, what degree you plan to get, and one thing that's so great and marvelous about you, you got to tell somebody today. You got to compliment yourself. And did you hear it? Because I'm going to say it again, because some of y'all didn't get it. I want you to tell them your name, where you're from, what your degree will be in, and one thing that's great and marvelous about you that you got to tell somebody. All right? Yeah. Now, the two of you in the pair will do that. And so the first thing I want you to do is to listen for more instructions. But I'm going to say go right now. Go find that person. Don't talk. No talking, no talking, no talking. No talking. Okay, somebody is not following instructions. I said don't talk. Let your eyes do the move. Okay? Now, are you in pairs? Okay? Very good. You don't have a partner. Okay? There it is. Somebody else. You need a partner. Everybody needs a partner. All right. Now, be quiet. Thank you very much. Be quiet. Now, this is what I'm sure you're asking yourself. Who's going to talk first? How many of you have asked yourself that? Who's going to talk first? Well, may I give you one of the most unscientific methods of determining who's going to talk first? The first person in the pair that gets the finger pointed at him will talk first. So So point your finger, and if your finger is pointed at this person, they're going to talk first. Okay? Unscientific. All right. Now, wait a minute. I didn't tell you to go. The first person in the pair will go now for 10 seconds. The time is over. Time is out, time is out, time is out, time is out. Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. Now, the second person of the pair who didn't get the finger pointed at them will have the same opportunity for 10 seconds. Go. Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. All right, now, I want you to shake hands with the person you just met.
What's her name?
How did that feel? Okay, pretty good. Maybe. Now, I want you to shake left hands with the person you just met. How does that sound? How does that feel? Kind of weird, doesn't it? It feels weird, it feels awkward. May I see the hands of all the left-handed people in here, please? All left-handed people, repeat after me. Thank you, Thelma. You're welcome. All right, now I want you to sit down. Go back to your seats, wherever you were. They were. Go back to your seats. In just about 30 to 40 seconds, you were able to meet somebody whom you've never met before. And you're in college, and almost every day, especially since you've just gotten here, you're going to meet somebody you've never met before. Isn't that awesome? And you're going to be able to distinguish these people, if you will, by their academics or by the way they look or whatever. Now, I want to tell you something that my great-great-grandmother told me, and she had to be ancient because I'm ancient. But she said, when I got ready to come to North Texas State University, that's what it was then. When I got ready to come here, she said, baby, let me tell you something. Be nice to everybody, but pick your friends. Okay? She said, be nice to everybody, but pick your friends. There were people who you shook hands with, right hand or left hand, that you might not need to associate with. You know why? If they are not headed in the same direction you are, to graduate in the class of 2014, they're not the people you need to deal with. Get that in your crowd, okay? Put that in your mind and massage it. Why? I don't believe in this room that there are people whom you may not want to associate with. But I think you need to be smart enough, intelligent enough, intuitive enough to pick your friends. It may not be anything wrong with them, but it may not just be the right mix, if you know what I mean. Okay? So I'm going to tell you like my great-grandmama told me. Be nice to everybody. Be nice and cordial and courteous and all of that. But don't pick your friends too quick. You're right here. You don't know people. You don't know people's MO. So don't get in a relationship. Hello. Now that's friend to friend, or boyfriend to girlfriend, or whatever. Don't get in that relationship until you're sure that you are compatible. You know why? If you get into a relationship, relationships are very emotional, very emotional. And if you get into a relationship that you're not compatible about, you are not going to study hard. You're not going to hear the instructions that are given. You're not going to do a lot of things that you should do. And you will not graduate in 2014. Hello. I'm just telling you like a grandmother because that's what I am. All right, you can call me Mama T if you want to, I don't care. Or you can call me Grandma, I don't care. But I'm going to talk to you like a grandma because I can. Now, okay, yeah, so welcome to Grandma's house. All right. The other thing that I want to say is, you followed those instructions pretty well, and I congratulate you on that. But you are coming to a place now where it's going to be essential, imperative, crucial for you to listen and to follow instructions. Actually, your instructors don't have to like you. Ain't that pitiful? They don't have to like you. A lot of times they won't like you. And many times they won't even know you. You're going to be in large classes where you might be a number. But I want to tell you something. If you want to graduate in the class of 2014, you need to listen to instructions and follow those instructions. Oh, when I was here, I had some instructions, I thought they were stupid. You're going to think some are stupid. I had some that were crazy. I had some instructions that were hard. In fact, I changed my major 3 times. I'm not suggesting that you do that. However, I didn't listen to all of the instructions. And I didn't do so well in some things at first. In fact, I decided that I was going to mold some of my professors in my image. I was going to teach them what they needed to know that they didn't know. Because I knew I was smart. And consequently, I got a D. Okay. I got a D on my transcript. That's not cute. I got an I on transcript. That's not cute. Because I came here trying to be all that on a bag of chips. After all, I graduated at the top of my class. I thought I knew something. I didn't know nothing. Okay, y'all don't know nothing either. Oh, may I just say, I'm sorry, I forgot I'm in an academic setting. You don't know anything either. Let me give you a little bit of my history here. I am first generation to graduate from college in my family. And I didn't come from great beginnings. My mama and my daddy were not married. I understand my daddy was married, but not to my mom. My mother was a crippled teenage girl when she had me in 1941. So figure that out. You mathematicians already know. I'm 69. Hold on. All right, I don't mind. I came to college because somebody cared enough to pay for me to come. We had no money. But when I went to a college, tried to enroll in a secretarial school in Dallas, Texas, in 1959, I was turned away from that school because of my skin color. And I was told that I could not do anything. I could not be anything. But there was one woman, a woman that my great-grandmother worked for as a domestic. And she went to this woman, Mrs. Mary Ness, and said, my daughter wants to go to school. My granddaughter. Can you help her? And this wonderful lady who lived, she's no longer with us now, but she lived in Highland Park, Texas. I call it Texas, but it's Highland Park. Okay? Because it's a foreign country to me. All right? But anyway, she lived in Highland Park, and she said, I will send you to college as long as you keep your grades above a C, and as long as you are single. If you get married while you're in college, you become your husband's responsibility. And so, kind of like the Emerald Eagle Scholars, I got paid. My school got paid by somebody else who cared. I could not live in a dormitory when I came here in 1959. We had to live across the tracks. We called our houses we lived in the color of the house. So I lived in the gray house across the track. Somebody else lived in the pink house across the track. And we had to walk miles to come to school. We had to walk. But I was determined that I was going to graduate in the class of 1959. 1963. When I first got here, and I went into one of my first classrooms, I sat in that class for 4.5 months. 4.5 months. And everybody's name was called on the roll in that class but mine. I was ignored in that class for 4.5 months. That's a semester. I would raise my hand to recite, and it was just like nothing was going on. I was an invisible body in that classroom. But you know what? My great-grandmama also told me something else. The teachers don't have to like you. You go in there to get what they have. So you study and you get what they have, and then you'll be able to do even more than they can do. So for 4.5 months, I sat there, and I'm gonna call her name, she might be your cousin, but I sat there in that class without being acknowledged at all. But she was so good. She was one good teacher. So I enrolled the second semester. And I showed up. She was mad. She was so mad, I think she thought, oh, I'm gonna get rid of her. No, she had everything I needed to help me with my degree. And so I went back, but let me tell you what I did do now. I don't suggest that you do this, but this is what I did. I found her office, and I've been at homesteaded in her office one day. I took me a sandwich. I'm in a sandwich, okay? And I homesteaded at her office, and when she saw me sitting there in front of her office, she was so upset. And she said to me, and I'm going to tell you exactly what she said. I said, Mrs. whatever her name was, why have you not acknowledged me for 4.5 months? I'm back in your class this semester. You're a good teacher. I need to know what's wrong. And this is, quote, what she said to me. She said, I've never taught a negress before, and I don't plan to start now. Well, y'all, I wasn't as nice then as I am now. and so the words that came out of my mouth were not necessarily wonderful. And so I said, I don't know what you plan to do. But I know what you were doing. And thank you for teaching me. Because I'm going to absorb everything you have. You don't control my mind. Now that's what you need to do when you go into class. Whether it's 1,000 in class or not, nobody can control your mind and help you learn anything if you don't turn it on. You know, you really are very much like a computer. And that's going to be one of your major tools. You know that, don't you? Oh, okay, you're going to have a computer to do some things, to do some research and all. But you also carry with you one of the most powerful mechanisms that you can have, and that's the power of choice. If you look inside your brain, here in the front lobe of your brain is the cerebral cortex, right up here. And this cerebral cortex has taken snapshots of everything that's happened in your life. Click, click, click. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Some of you have come from places where you're so glad to be in school you don't know what to do. Because that means you don't have to go home and listen to the drama. Some of you are so glad to be here because you know you're going to have something to eat. It may be out of a can, but you got it, sugar. Okay? Some of y'all are so glad to get out of your mama's house you don't know what to do because it was too strict there. You traded strict for strict, sugar. Okay? Yeah, that's right. You were glad to get out of mama's house, okay? But let me tell you what, you in the schoolhouse now, okay? And the rules here in the schoolhouse may be stricter than in your mama's house because you got to study. Sometimes in your mama's house you didn't have to study. And sometimes they might not have helped you study. But thank God you got here. And now you got a whole set of rules. You got a whole set of rules. Well, adhering to those rules, though, is going to make you graduate. in 2014. As I looked at that particular class, and as I absorbed everything that lady had to teach me, and as I sat in classes that were so large until you could never meet everybody in the class, and as I listened to the professors throw out exactly what you have to have, I learned one thing. Take a tape recorder, honey, and take some notes, because you're going to forget some of this stuff, all right? And some of you have not even been taught how to study correctly. So one of the things that you got to do is to watch the discipline of your time. How many of you have a clock, an alarm clock? And how many of y'all are using? Okay. Discipline. Get to class on time. There's a reason why they have the classes scheduled. Did you know that? They have them scheduled so you can get there and not run off somebody else. So get to class on time. When you're out of class, don't do like some of us did. We used to go to the Union building, the UB, and we played bed whist. I'm not saying don't go to the Union building. I'm not saying not have activities, but don't play it on a night where you don't get your lesson, baby. Because guess what? If you don't turn in your work, oh, y'all don't know what bed whist is? Okay, it's cards. okay. Thank you so much, Sugar. It's cards, okay. So whatever you play, don't play it all night. Go home and discipline yourselves to be able to get your work out. Now, I know some of you are going to have roommates that you don't know about yet. And some of your roommates you don't want to change. Because they're going to be loud and noise and get on your last nerve. But you know, it's really cheap to buy some of these. Okay? And ask some of your friends if they have gotten some on the airplane or something. So you get you some earplugs. Alright? So you can study your work without interruption. Because you can't make nobody do nothing. Alright? Your roommate may be loud and maybe all of that. But it's not your responsibility to be the same way. It's your responsibility to get your work. Okay? I just gotta say that. Y'all are so fortunate. When I came to college, I said we could not live in a dormitory. We had to live across and we had to walk here. But let me tell you one great thing. In the year 1961, the college dormitories for blacks and minorities was integrated. 5 of us got to stay where Oak Street Hall is. Y'all know where Oak Street Hall was? Okay, you'll find it. It's a church now. But it's on campus. It's on Oak Street, on the corner of Oak Street, okay? That was a dormitory then. It was one of the oldest dormitories here, one of the most dilapidated dormitories here, and we got a chance to stay there. How fun! We had to live in a one little room with 5 cots and sleep near the boiler room. But guess what? It didn't stop us. Every girl that stayed in that dormitory and slept by that noisy boiler room graduated on time because we had our goals set and we were determined that a boiler room with noise in it was not going to stop us. That a teacher who did not want to teach us was not going to stop us. That a campus where we had no fast food. The only store that was here was Bartman's, and it's still here. And guess what? I was telling you today, sometimes we got really hungry. Okay, we got real hungry. And sometimes we didn't have a lot of money. And we had to walk back and forth until we got in the dormitory. But don't do this. I'm just going to have to tell you how silly. Not you, because you all are so much more mature than we were. But how silly because some college students can be. We would go to Voortman's, 4 of us. We'd get a table in Voortman's. We'd get salt and pepper. We'd shake it on the napkin. And we'd roll a toothpick in it and suck the toothpick. Because we got, so yeah, I know. Stupid stuff. But at that time, salt tasted good. Okay? Now I understand that some people do it with cinnamon. I don't know, I haven't tried that one. But anyway, times were not easy. But you all are here in comfort. That's what I want to tell you. And I'm going to say that there is something about having gratitude for where you are. Many of you are here because there are sponsors and people who have sacrificed to let you come. Your families have sacrificed to let you come. And because they've sacrificed to let you come, don't sleep through class. Okay? Get enough rest that you don't have to do that. Don't turn your work in late, because guess what you don't have anymore? You don't have a pacifier in your mouth anymore. It's been taken. Your pacifier's been taken. You don't have mama that you can call on all the time, daddy that you can call on all the time, people that you can call on all the time. That means you are grown. Isn't that what you wanted to be? I'll be glad when I get out of this house so I can be grown. How many grown folks in here? How many not sure that you are? Okay? And I'm glad you're not. I'm glad you're not sure. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this. There is something called self-image or self-esteem. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you a definition of self-esteem. Self-esteem is how you talk to yourself. You thought I was going to say something profound, didn't you? But that's what it is. I don't know how many of you have criticized yourself. May I see your hands? How many of you have talked down to yourself? How many of you have shame for some things you've done? How many of you feel guilty about some stuff you've done? And how many of y'all are scared? Like, I don't know what to be here. Okay? Now, the reason I ask you that, admission of those kinds of things is the first step to getting over it. Okay? It doesn't matter what you've done in the past, what you've experienced in the past, where you've been, what you've said, how you've acted. What matters is, where do you see yourself in the future? If you've noticed, everybody in here has something to feel bad about. Did you know that? Everybody, including me. Including me. But I don't feel bad about what I've done in the past now, because guess what? I got today. Right now. I've got right now. And I can make right now count for everything it needs to count for. So I have decided that I'm not going to worry about what I did yesterday. No shame, no blame, sugar. Okay, if it's dead, bury it. Okay? If it's dead, bury it. Today is the day that you have to make this day the best day of the rest of your life. And every morning when you get up, you think about that. You think about that. Do not talk down to yourselves. Do not criticize yourselves. And may I say this, and don't you let anybody else do it either. You don't have to buy in to any criticism or any degrading or any berating or anything like that. You don't have to buy into that. That's right. I mean, I'm sure I'm not as cute as I used to be. Because I used to be really fine. I know I was fine. Okay. But I'm not going to talk down to myself and say, you little fat pig, you. Oink, oink. I'm not going to do that. we're bad enough ought to be doing it, okay? So what am I saying? Ladies and gentlemen, you are precious, and you were made for this season. Who are you? You are young people with talent, skill, ability, uniqueness, intelligence, all the stuff it takes to be a success in life. And don't you let anybody tell you any differently. You have the opportunity to gain more knowledge, to gain more insight, to gain more ability. That's why you're here. But you also have the privilege of asking for wisdom. Be wise as a serpent and humble as a dove. Don't think you are better than anybody else because you might have come from a different situation. Everybody's the same. Just because that lady wouldn't acknowledge me didn't keep me from learning everything she had. You know? Well, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to ask you if you have any questions because I want to make sure there are 400 of you in here. And if you have 400 questions, please ask them. I probably won't answer them, but I'm kidding. But I just want to leave time for you to ask me some questions. Anybody? Well, I really appreciate all the questions on there. Okay, because I know you got some questions, okay. It's okay, yes.
What is your major in at North Texas State University?
What? Thank you very much. I had 3. Okay. When I first came, I did not think I could stay in school over 2 years. And so I enrolled in secretarial science. After discovering that, yes, Mrs. Les was going to pay for me to go, I changed my major to a 4-year program, business administration. And after I could not pass accounting 3, I changed my major to secondary education. And so I graduated in 1963 with a degree in secondary education and got my teacher's certificate and was able to teach school and am still able to teach school even though I do other things. Now let me say this about that. I'm so glad you asked me. What's your name?
Ashley.
Hello, Ashley. Thank you very much for asking. A lot of times you will come to college and you think you know what you want to do in life. Okay? It's okay when you discover that you don't have an aptitude for that, or you don't have a real passion for that, to change your major, but don't change it so late until you can't graduate in 2014. A lot of times we think we want some things, and we think we know what we want in life, but life changes, and our minds change. So I'm so glad, Ashley, that number one, I knew I could go into a 4-year program, and I did. And then when I knew I had no aptitude for accounting, I need a calculator today to add, okay? I went into what I was already gifted for, and that's business administration, teaching, and being here with you on the 25th of August, 2010. So what is your passion? My question for you, and that's a good question, what is your mission? Why are you here? What is your vision? What do you see for yourselves in the future? I hope you see getting on that cap and gown and walking and giving the man your hand and getting that sheepskin in 2014 or before. Okay? I hope you see da-da-da-dum, dum, dum, da-da-da-dum, dum, 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 dum. I hope you see that. Okay, I hope you see that. I hope you see yourselves making the best grades you can. Now, some of you are going to make all A's and some are going to make others. But when you know you're doing your best, you don't have to be guilty or feel guilty about what you got. Give it your best. Any other questions? Yes.
How did you get started in writing books?
Oh, thank you very much. She asked, how did I get started in writing books? I got started on a dare, baby. See, sometimes people don't need to dare me to do stuff. Well, let me tell you the whole story about that. It was 1993. I was an old lady when I started writing, honey. I was 50 years old. But in 1993, I got a call from the National Speakers Association, of which I was a member, because I had already started speaking. And I was going to speak as the first black woman to speak for the International Convention of Speakers. So then they called my office, they said, you know, Miss Wells, we really would like to have your books. My what? Well, we want to have your books here at the Fairmont, downtown Dallas, within 6 weeks. My books. Is that a requirement for me to speak? And so my daughter, who's sitting right there with the camera, took the phone from me, very aggressively, said to the person there, when do you want her book? And they said, we want it in 6 weeks. She said, oh yes, thank you very much. We'll have it there. I wanted to slap her upside the head. I didn't have a book. I hadn't started a book. I didn't know how to write a book. And she said, oh yeah, you're gonna have it because you have the outline. And that was before computers. Okay, before I knew anything about them. Okay. And so she said, I said, I'm traveling, I can't do that. She said, yes, you can. You write on the plane, you fax back to me at night. Don't worry about the formation of it. I'll do that for you. Well, let me tell you the end of the story. The day that it was supposed, the books were supposed to be at the Fairmont Hotel, my first book called Capture Your Audience Through Storytelling was delivered by my daughter. She drove to Austin, Texas, picked up 1,800 copies of that book, drove back and had them there on time at the Fairmont Hotel, Dallas. And we sold all those books that day, and the rest is history. Now let me tell you a bit about that history. There was a publisher there that day that I spoke and saw my book, and he said, I want you to write a book for me. I said, honey, I just got you to write a book. He said, no, I want you to write a real book. I said, look at that book. Doesn't that look like a real book to you? Okay. And then he said, no, you're 50 years old, and people need to know your story. And I said, baby, nobody cares about my story. He challenged me. And he said, I want you to write a book. And I didn't know I could write. I really did not know I could write. And so he set me up with a writer. Some people call him a ghostwriter, but she's not a ghostwriter. She's on the front of my book. And my book is called Bumblebees Fly Anyway, Defying the Odds at Work at Home. That book has sold thousands of copies because it talks about the metaphor that I have for life. And my metaphor for life is the bumblebee. Every time you see me, I will have a bumblebee somewhere on my person. Why is that, Thelma? I'm glad you asked. The bumblebee, aerodynamically, is not supposed to be able to fly. Its body is too heavy. Its wingspan is too shallow. But nobody told the fool it can't fly. So it flies around doing what God intended for it to do. Well, some of you are just like that bumblebee today. Some of you have been told, you can't do that. Your academics are not high enough. You don't have the skill to do that. Why you gonna go to that big old college and think you gonna make it? But let me tell you something. For every single last one of you, if a bumblebee who does not have a brain can get up and pollinate flowers and do what it was intended to do, you can get up every day and soar to the highest heights because you have the ability to make choices. I challenge you today. Make the right choices so you can fly to the sky. I believe I can fly. I believe if I can touch the sky, whatever they said. Okay? But you can do it, you can do it. Don't you let anybody tell you you can't do it. The bumblebee says to me, B plus E equals S. Quickly, B. Be aware of who you are. And I just mentioned who you are. You have skill and all that stuff. You're somebody, you're unique, you're special. Oh, one thing I want to tell you. Do not come here comparing yourself to anybody else. I'm going to say that one more time. Don't come here comparing yourself to anybody else. When you were made, the mold was broken, sugar. There is nobody like you. I don't care if you're a twin or a triplet or whatever else you are. Nobody has your same fingerprint, nor do they have your toe print. So don't come here trying to say, well, I can't do that, but she can do that. I can't do that, but you can do it too. Do you understand? This is grandmother talking to you. Don't compare yourselves, because there's no comparison. You're unique. You're unique. You're unique. Okay? That was a long answer, but I thank you very much. Anybody else? Yes,
What
yes.
made you decide to go to North Texas State University?
How did I decide? Ignorance. Now let me tell you what I mean by that. When Mrs. Mary Les, asked me to come to her house to talk to me about going to college, she asked me this question: where do you want to go? And I really had heard nothing about any other large college but North Texas State. And I said to her, I want to go to Denton, to that school, North Texas State. She was ecstatic. She said, that's a great school. And that's how I got here. But I tell you what, I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be here. I'm proud enough to wear the letters on my chest. I'm proud enough to be able to hold you virtually in my arms and say to you, you've made a good choice. I'm proud enough that I want to keep up with you. I want to know what you're doing. I want you to email me and let me know what you're doing. Why? Because you're in the best place you can be. I tried to quit once, but I tried to quit for the wrong reason. I was in love. And I got married before I graduated, and I decided college is not what I want to do. I want to be home with my man. All right? But my man was so much of a man until when I loaded up my stuff and drove back to Dallas, Texas, 37 miles up the way, I didn't even get a chance to take my stuff out of the car. My husband said, oh no, you are going to get your degree if you don't do anything else in life. You're going to get that degree because you're going to be able, if anything happens to me, to take care of yourself. You're going to get that degree because you're not going to let your family down. You're the first person to go to college and even make it as long as you have. You're going to get that degree. And so he put me back in the car. I couldn't stand him at that time. I was so mad at him. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to talk to him. But he put me back in the car and he drove me back. And I got my stuff out of the car. And you know what I do almost 2 or 3 times a year? I said, baby, thank you. Baby, thank you. Thank you that you had more forethought than I did. Thank you that you had more ambition than I did. I just want to be home with my man. Okay? But that gets old, children. Let me tell you. Okay? And you being home with your man don't pay no bills. Okay? Does not create a career. Does not set you up for success. And so I'm so glad. You know, I wish I see an old lady cry. You know? I want to tell you, I care enough about you that I can truly say that I, agape, love you. I love you. And I want to see you succeed. And I'm going to do everything I can in this Emerald Scholars Program to help every single one of you succeed in life. You got what it takes. Make it work for you. I'll take one more question. Yes, Ashley.
Will you be my mentor?
Huh?
Will you be my mentor?
What? Will I be your mentor?
You'll be my mentor.
If you email me, I'm not gonna sit down and talk to you. And then I'm gonna tell you what. I don't mean to be ugly, but I got mentors all over the world. If I sit down and talk to all the mentors. However, let me tell you about my website. May I do that?
Yes, you may.
Is that okay if I tell them about my website? There are so many mentoring things on my website that would be beneficial to each of you. My website is www.thelmawells. That's THELMAWELLS. You should have had a card. How many of you got a card when you came in here? Okay, if you got a card, you don't need to write it down. It's on the back. It's on the back of the card. Get on my website. Email me so I can put you on my email blast. On the website, you will see the Webcast University is free. Okay? You've got at least 31 people talking about some things that you need to know about. And we're going to be adding all the time. On my website, you're going to find heroes on there who can help you with some of the things you want to know. Every several months, we feature a Christian hero. So get on the website, okay? You will also find some things that you can perhaps help with, Ashley. Some volunteer things. We're doing some drama. We're doing excursions. We're doing so much that each of you can be a part of if you want to. That's one of the ways I mentor, Ashley. I try to put as much on the website as I can. I do webcasts. And I just finished one webcast last night that was absolutely outstanding, if I have to say so myself. But it was good. Okay. But I do webcasts based on the different books that I've written. I've written now, to date, 27 books. 3 DVDs, several CDs. So that's what I've done. And I didn't start until I was 50 years old. Okay? I'll be glad to admit to you that way. Now, you can always personally email me. I'm talking to all y'all now. You can personally email me, and I get my own emails. I will answer you. If 400 of you write me today, I will not get back to you until next week. Okay? All right? Questions? Yes? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Right here first.
Can you do the B's acronym?
I can. The B acronym, I call it a formula for success. And B plus E equals S. B stands for be aware of who you are. E, the first E, stands for eliminate the negative effects of negativity. Now, I can give it to you if you want me to. Okay? Okay, you take it any way you want it. This is how I eliminate the negative effects of negativity. Talk about Mama T. Did I tell you you can call me Mama T? Okay, that's good. I'm glad I did. Okay, this is how I do it. I have a faith that teaches me to pray. And so I pray. I also sing. And I'm good. And I have to speak. But if I want to get in a mood for helping myself, I sing. Okay? The other thing that I do is that I read the book that is the greatest bestseller in the world. It is called The B.I.B.L.E. I said it again. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I do. I do. And then the next thing I do is that I surround myself with people who are going higher than I am. I don't want people on my same level unless we're going to go up together. And the last thing I do is that I try to do something for somebody without expecting anything in return from them. I try to love on people. That's the first E. The second E is do what you can do for eternal value. It's only what you do that is correct and righteous, with integrity, that's going to last. And then the S is success. Booker T. Washington said, success is not to be measured so much by the status one has attained in life, but rather by the obstacles one has overcome while trying to succeed. That's a formula for success. B plus E equals S. Last question. Yes. Yes. You like me. I like you. What's your name? Gregory. I like Gregory. I like Gregory. Thank you, Gregory. I like you too. And you had one question. I'm sorry. Okay, it's time for me. Yes. Do I have any advice for people who want to be an author? I certainly do. In fact, if you email me, I will send you a whole thing about what if people want to be an author, but I'll tell you right quickly. To be an author, you just sit down and write. Okay? You get it down and stop trying to be like somebody else. Okay? Write the way you talk, write the way you feel, because writing has to have passion in it. The books that sell the most are the books that say something that have passion. So write the way you feel, and then get you a good editor. Get you a good editor, sugar. Okay? Who's going to correct all that stuff that you didn't know that you were supposed to correct. Okay? And then for your first book, I suggest you self-publish. Email me and I'll give you some more information. All of you who want to do that, I'll give you more information. Okay? Well, the time has been well spent. I could stay here with you all day, but y'all got to go. I don't have to. Okay? Y'all got to go.